Cuthbert Cooks in Dubai, here in Al Basha in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. This evening, because it's already dark, the sun's gone down and it's a bit cooler today, but we're still in the heat of summer, we're going to do some vegan food. Now, as a guy that likes to eat his steaks, I mean the vegan food, this one's going to challenge me, but we're with a great partner, which is our one of our corporate partners from the Emirates Culinary Guild called Blenders. And Damar, the sales director and the sales manager and the man leading the Blenders campaign over here in the UAE is from Ireland, such as the product. So Blenders is an Irish-based company that makes ketchup, mayonnaise, various other sauces. But what we're going to do today is utilize the Blenders mayonnaise, which is totally suitable for vegan, vegetarian. It's got no gluten, so it's very good. It's got no allergens inside it. It's made from rapeseed oil, so it's a great product to use if you're exploring. And when I was young cook and trying to work out what vegetarian food is back in Australia, you know, it was a veg cutlet coated in nuts, you know, and that wouldn't work today, would it? With all the allergies of nuts and all the different allergies that people seem to be getting. So it's important to understand the importance of providing safe food for our guests, whether that be a fish allergy or a gluten allergy, but also people that have a choice. People choose to be vegan or people choose to be vegetarian. So we in the industry, we need to be able to be adaptable to that. We need to be agile and follow trends as well. But it's also working with companies like Blenders, where you get the opportunity to utilize a product that is purpose made to help you in the kitchen. So we're going to do, I'm not too sure what we're going to do, but we're going to give a go to a little bit of a combination of what I believe is what is a great wholesome dish, but also it's a vegan inspired dish as well, and utilizing the Blenders mayonnaise. We're going to make a little bit of mung bean pancakes. We're then going to have a little bit of tofu, which is, I've got a lovely firm tofu here that we're going to marinate in a little bit of garlic and chili sauce. I'm going to add some grilled eggplant. We're going to make a batter from flour, a little bit of baking powder, and then we're going to utilize a bit of coconut cream, and then we pop in some onions and our mung beans, and we'll make sort of like little pikelets from that. We then grill off the tofu after it's marinated a little bit in the garlic chili, and then we're going to make two mayonnaise based sauces, one to go with the salad leaves that we're going to use as a little garnish around the outside, and that's going to be a little bit of lovely saffron mayonnaise. We've got a little bit of beautiful saffron there, just getting the color and the flavor out of the saffron. And then we're also going to make a little wasabi and ginger mayonnaise to go actually inside between the patties of mung bean and the onion, and then we're also going to put in we're going to put that mayonnaise into the middle there, pop that on top, garnish up with our salad leaves, pop out, make a little saffron mayonnaise, and then we're going to have a taste and see how it looks. So the first thing we're going to do, I've got my pans on the back here. I'm just going to get my pans hot because I want to grill the eggplant a little bit. I mean, you could actually add a little bit of miso onto the eggplant as well if you want. So we use a little bit of olive oil, of course, and then we're going to get that hot for the eggplant. So the eggplant's quite straightforward. We're just going to get the eggplant, just going to trim him down, take off the end. Now I remember I went for a lunch once back home in Australia in about '88 it was, and we went to a Sri Lankan family's house, yeah, and they served us a curry, vegetarian curry. I mean the food was super spicy, yeah. But Mahinda Jit was the name of the Sri Lankan chef that invited us to his house out near Dandenong in Melbourne. We were all working together at the Hilton Hotel, and then his grandmother cooked for us. And so we were playing cricket outside in the street with all the kids and with all the other chefs that came over to his house. And then we sat down to a beautiful Sri Lankan lunch. And what I remembered was the grandmother made a coconut curry. with the whole eggplants. But also, she'd left this green bit on. And I said to the guys, I said, what do you do with the end bit? He said, oh no, we cook that as well. And then you can just actually eat the outside of the stalk, and there's a very hard piece in the middle, so you sort of suck it off with your teeth. Yep. And then you would get the flavour of that. So again, no food waste, yeah? But that was a memorable lunch. I mean, that was back in, yeah, I think 87 that must have been. And I remember that lunch because of the great cultural connection we had with vegetarian dishes from Sri Lanka. I mean, made by the grandmother, you couldn't go wrong, but I tell you, it was spicy. But on the eggplant, we're just going to slice him down, and then we'll salt him slightly, and then we're just going to grill him off. And so this is going to form one of the bases of our one of the ingredients inside our little tofu burger almost, yeah? So I've got a little bit of salt, just going to salt these a little bit. I've got the pan hot enough, pat that down, a little bit of extra salt. So we've got that there. Now you can do this in advance, you can salt them overnight or whatever you want to do, but I'm just going to lightly salt them, and then I'm just going to pop these into the pan to grill up nicely, yeah? I don't want to burn them, but I want to make sure they're cooked all the way through. You can peel the eggplant if you want, no problem at all. You can keep it, you can leave the skin on, really up to you, yeah? Just wipe down my board now. So that's the first step that we're going to do, and now we're going to make the little batter, and then we're going to fry off some little mung bean, just washing my hands over here in my sink. Got the eggplants cooking away nicely there. Don't want it too hot, don't want to burn them, yeah? A little bit of extra, they'll take up a bit of the oil, so we'll just give them a little bit, and we want to cook those all the way through. We're going to drop the temperature down a bit because we just want them to cook gently. And now we'll have a look at the tofu quickly, because I want to marinate the tofu now. I want to get that done. And basically all I'm going to do with the tofu, it's a nice firm tofu, nice and firm, nice thick piece. So I'm just going to cut a nice, almost a steak out of the tofu, so it's nice and thick. And so here he is here. This is the tofu, yeah, just simple, just like that. Then pop him in a little pan. I've got a little bit of garlic and chili sauce, and I'm just going to brush over the top, yeah, because I want to get some little bit of Asian flavors, a little bit of spice, you know, a little bit of little bit of kick into our dish as well. So we just marinate that lightly. We just smear the garlic ginger over your lump of tofu, and then we're just going to pop that on the side, and we're going to let it rest, and we're just going to let that soak through and just give it a little bit more, and that'll just give that kick to the tofu, give a little bit of extra flavour there. No need for salt and pepper, obviously, yeah, it's got enough seasoning, enough flavour in the garlic chili sauce, yeah. So we just pop that away. I've got my little eggplants here, so they're just cooking off nicely. I'm going to get them nicely done. So I'll put this on the side, put my tofu on the side. And now for the batter, for the little pate or the little patties, yeah. So I've got some very finely sliced white onion, yeah. And I'm going to put that in raw once I've made my batter. I've got about 100 grams of just flour. I'm going to use a little bit of baking powder here just as my leavening. So we're going to pop in maybe 2 teaspoons will probably be enough for this much. And then no eggs, of course, can't use eggs. So I'm going to use a little bit of coconut milk, and that I just want to make sure that it binds the flour together. And I'm going to use the flour as the base to mix the mung bean or the green mung beans inside, and the white onion. Right, so we've got to just whisk that flour, just to aerate the flour, a little bit of the baking powder, and then just very carefully just going to drop in. I want quite a thick mixture because it's got to bind the mung bean and the onions together, yeah? So I'm just going to drop some coconut cream in there. Then I'm just going to get that going around. So it's quite a thick mixture that I'm making. Maybe it needs a little bit more by the looks of things. Pour that in. We give a lovely little flavour, the coconut milk, yeah. I haven't put no sugar, no salt, nothing, just using the natural flavour from the tinned coconut cream, yeah. Now we make that into a paste. Now we want it to bind the both the coconut, the coconut cream plus the flour as your little binding agent, and then we're going to mix slowly. We're going to pop in another bowl. We're going to pop a little bit of the white onions, and then we're going to fold it gently with our little base. That'll do us. That's nice. Just wipe down a little bit. Got a couple of spillages there. I'll keep the extra coconut cream on the side just in case we need to thin it down a bit. We'll see how it goes. Don't forget about the eggplant at the back here. So that's just grilling off nicely. Turn him over. Yeah, not burning. Nicely coloured. We're going to drop that right down the temperature. Touch more olive oil in there. Put a little bit of olive oil in my little non-stick pan over here, because this is where we're going to cook the little mung beans and the onion fritter. Now what I did with the mung beans, I've boiled them, but I've added a little bit of ginger inside. I learnt this from a chef that used to work for the Sultan of Brunei, Muhammad his name was. He had golden threads on his chef's jacket. That meant that he used to cook for the Sultan himself in the palace in Brunei. So Muhammad taught me once how to make bubur kacang, and that was we would cook the mung beans and then pop a little bit of salt and a little bit of ginger, and then boil the mung beans and add coconut cream. We used to eat it for winter when I was living in England, and it was a lovely, lovely warm dessert dish. But what I've taken that from Muhammad and said, okay, I'll add the ginger and the mung beans to give some flavour to the mung beans. So they're nicely cooked. We're just going to pop, say about three little tablespoons in there, and we're going to make these one by one, yeah. And then I've got my little shaved white onions, and I want the onions crunchy, you know, that's why I'm putting them in raw. Then we just mix that together. Now I might even be I'll have to be quick here. I might even have to have two pans at once. I've got my eggplant. My eggplant's just finishing off nicely. Smells great. And that'll just give it another dynamic as we eat that one. This little grilled eggplant, you'll get the bitterness of the eggplant as well, but then you'll also get the softness of the tofu, the sweetness of the coconut, and then the lovely Blender's mayonnaise. When we get those different flavours of mayonnaise dressings that we're going to do in a minute, we'll get them going as well. That'll give a little bit of extra kick to our eggplant. So we've got the mung beans in here. Now all I'm going to do is drop a little bit of our mixture. So I want to bind this all together. So I don't want a lot. I just want to make sure it's bound together nicely, so it'll fry off and give us a lovely little pikelet or a little fritter or whatever you want to call it. Now you can experiment with this. You know, you can add sweet corn, you could add butter beans, you could do all sorts of different pulses, legumes that are suitable for vegan people to eat, yeah. and it also expands your repertoire, young chefs, you know, because if you can do little creative dishes, then it's going to be, it's all the better for you. So when people come to your restaurant and say, oh, I'm vegan, what can you do me? And then you're able to actually think on the spot and come along with a beautiful dish. We're going to add a bit of black pepper, little touch of salt into this one. And then I've got the oil in the pan. Going to turn this on. Get the pan hot. In the meantime, you can see my eggplant's ready. So we're just going to bring that off. Going to pop that in one of my bowls. That'll just cool down, and that's going to go. So those are just nicely grilled, nice and soft, yeah. Now you can take the skin off as well if you want. You could smoke these, you could char grill them whole, you could do like a baba ganoush. Really up to you what you want to do with the eggplant to add a little bit of excitement to your dish. So we've got the thing, I think this needs a little bit more batter in there. Just want to make sure that they come out, so there's a nicely holding it together. I've got my pan in the back. We've got the blenders ready to go with, remember, the saffron. We're going to do saffron mayonnaise, and we're going to do wasabi and the pickled ginger mayonnaise as well. I've got my tofu marinating in the back. I'm going to quickly wash my pan that I just had the eggplant in. That's my cast iron pan. I've got my pan here. Now we're not blowing glass, so we don't want to have it too much. And then all we're going to do is drop into the pan couple of this. You can see the consistency. Yeah, it's quite thick. Yeah, it's quite chunky. But we're going to drop it in. We're going to spread it out nicely and just pan fry the little fritters of mung bean and onion. Get a little bit of colour on them. We're going to have 2 pieces per person. Then we've got the pan there. I'm going to have a little pan. I'm going to get a little plate here because I want to have a plate next to me here. I'm going to have a bit of kitchen towel just to soak up any fat that might come. I'm going to get me strap harnesses out. Need me strap harnesses nice and hot. Just going to wash the pan now. So I got me strap harness. Get me pan back on. So that one we're going to cook our tofu on. Put me strap harnesses down. This little pan's hot enough now. So we're going to drop the temperature just a little bit and let's see how this goes. So I'll move that out of the way so cameraman Code can zoom in. Maybe we move our bucket of blenders over here, Code. So nice and thick. And then we're just going to drop this into the pan. Sizzling away nicely. Because you know, 1, you got to get it hot. 2, you got to get the onions a little bit cooked, of course, yeah. And then we want a nice little bit of colour, yeah. So the size of our little fritter at the moment is about that big, and that's just going to sit there, and that's all holding together. So we're going to get that turned on. I'm going to pop another pan at the back. I'm going to put our tofu pan at the back. Whoop! Should have had me strap harnesses on for that. That was a bit hot. Get that on. Going to get another little pan down here. So I'll get another one going. Another pan here. Turn him up. We've got our pan at the back for our tofu. Right, we're going to add we're going to add a little bit more of our mixture here. We've got our mung beans again. So I'm just making the second batch, mung beans again. You're looking at about 3 tablespoons of mung beans. Pinch of our nice, really thinly sliced onions. Get that done. Don't forget our pepper. Pop the pepper in. A little bit of salt. And off we go again. We just mix that round. We get our mixture nicely bound up. If we think it needs a bit more, remember you've got things happening on the stove behind you, so you can't forget another little spoon of our coconut batter there. Mix him around. This one's coming up nicely. About to flip that over. We'll flip that over. There we go. So as you can see, it's cooking nicely. Got a little bit of colour, yeah? Can you see that, cameraman code? So that's a lovely little puffed up pikelet, or a little fritter. So we're going to keep that cooking. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil just to help that one get a little bit brown. There we go. I've got my other one on over here, so I've got that working. I've got my next mixture ready. I think maybe we're looking good there. I think that's ready, so I'm going to pop that in my second pan. Exactly the same. It's a nice non-stick pan. I pop it in, and then I make a nice circle, then flatten him down a bit. Now you can put it in a ring to make it perfect if you want, or you can just freestyle it like I'm doing at the moment, and then that'll cook gently down and that'll form the base. And then we have this one. Yep, they're nearly cooked. So we have our two bases ready. We have our eggplant ready. I'll just clear off a little bit because I'm getting a little bit caught up with everything at the moment. Let me pop our eggplant away. Pop our eggplant over here. There we go. Just move me mung beans. Have a quick look at this one again. Give him a flip up. Yep, that's puffed up nicely. Get me strap my harnesses. So that one's nearly ready, and we're just going to keep that on the side to rest. Got to keep him a little bit more. We've got the other one here. The other one's full on. So we'll have a little look under there. No, needs a bit more. Turn him down a bit. Don't want to burn him. Now I've got my pans ready at the back to do my grilled tofu. So I've got 3 pans running at once. The missus will be mad after this one, cameraman code, all the pans we're using, but anyway, it is what it is. Got no stewarding today, so I'll have to do all that myself, but hey, that's all right, we can manage that. Pop that over here. Got me spoons. Where's all my spoons gone, cameraman code? I've used all my spoons. Hang on a minute. Another couple of spoons out to make my mayonnaise sauces, yeah. So I'm going to keep myself excited with that. So I've got my blenders ready. I've got my eggplant in here. I've got my bits and pieces on the stove. I'm going to flip that over again to make sure that's nice. That one's done. We're going to move this one down here. I'm going to bring this one forward so we can maybe get a little look at that. So this is the pan for our tofu. So the tofu's been marinating in our lovely garlic chili, okay? And now we're going to grill him. And as he cooks, yeah, this one's ready. Flip that over. Again, you'll see, you can see that coat. So we've got a lovely little fritter happening here. It's hot. It's going to be lovely. The onions will remain their crunchiness, but they'll still be, half cooked. And then that little blend of coconut and flour and a little bit of baking powder, that'll just give it a puffiness, keeps it together. Just going to finish that on there. We've got I'm going to drop the temperature down on that one. And now we're going to slide we're just going to grill or pan fry. Quite a hot pan. We want the tofu to get a bit of colour. So now we've got our tofu grilling. We've got our first little fritter ready. So we just pop him out on a piece of kitchen towel to soak off any fat. We've got the other one here as well. Tofu's sounds great. And now for the sauces. So with the blenders, it's a ready to use product, yeah, made in Ireland, no allergens, good for no gluten, excellent for vegans, excellent for vegetarians. So it is a product that we're able to utilize in the kitchens for all areas of the kitchen. So I've got my saffron here, and all I'm going to do, I don't need a lot, we're not making a lot, so we just take a little spoon of of the blenders. You see it's nice and thick as well. Yeah, it's got a nice consistency to it, so you're able to thin it down. Yeah, if you're making a Mary Rose sauce or a Thousand Island sauce, it's already stiff, you know, so then you can actually come along, young chefs, and you can do, see, look at that, upside down mayonnaise. Look at that, fantastic. Defies gravity, this mayonnaise. Yeah, so we just take a little bit of the saffron. We just want to colour the saffron. We want to colour the mayonnaise and flavour the mayonnaise with the saffron. Yeah. So I've had that soaking in a little warm water. This is a lovely piece of saffron that Michel Miraton gave me. Michel Miraton, he was one of our chefs here in the Culinary Guild for the last 16 years, and he's gone home after all these years. He arrived back in France last week, and he said, "Listen, here's a lovely." Here's a lovely bit of saffron for you, Andy. I said, thank you very much, my friend. Always a pleasure to take off someone's hands some lovely saffron. I'm going to add a couple of the strains of saffron to the mayonnaise, because I really want to show that we've got saffron on there. Also give the flavour. So this one I'm going to drizzle it onto the leaves. I might even mix the leaves through with the mayonnaise a bit. So there we have a lovely coloured mayonnaise, and now with the water, it's come down a little bit with the flavour of the saffron. The colour's still coming out of the saffron a bit, so that's even better. And then we have a beautiful saffron mayonnaise ready to go. I'll just flip out my other one. You can see this one puffed up lovely, yeah, nice and fluffy, you know, because we want that. We don't want something thick and hard. It's lovely and puffed up. So we pop that here. I've got my piece of tofu. Now you got to be careful with tofu. We don't want to. That's perfect. We just flip him over, and that's getting great colour onto the tofu also. I'll just bring that forward for you, Code. So we've got the lovely piece of tofu getting nicely browned as well, getting a bit of colour on it. We want it nice and hot, because it is a little hot dish we're doing here. So we've got our pancakes, we've got our tofu, we've got our eggplant, we've got our saffron mayonnaise. Now we're quickly going to do our wasabi, and the wasabi one is going to go on top of the tofu. It's actually we're going to smear the wasabi one on top of the pancakes, or the little pikelets, the fritters, and then we're going to pop the tofu on, pop our eggplant on, and then our dish is pretty much finished, and we garnish it on top with our lovely salad, a little bit of our saffron mayonnaise. So for this one, very straightforward as well, ready-made wasabi. Yeah, now up to you how much you want to use. Yeah, it will be a little bit spicy, but we want some kick. Why not? We've got extra kick. Don't need a lot. See, nice and thick again. Yeah. Now as I'm spreading this one, I'm also just going to take the... See, that's a good thing about the blenders, is it's nice and thick. You know, tip it upside down, doesn't come out of the pot, right? So, you know, even upside down it helps, you know, because it then gives you the opportunity to play around with it a little bit, yeah, and give yourself a little bit of extra leverage when you're doing your menus. I'm going to julienne up the ginger. I'm popping that in with the mayonnaise, and I'm just going to mix the wasabi and the mayonnaise and the pickled ginger together. Again, flavour, you know, different flavours. Now you could add something sweet if you want. Why not? Yeah, but I think the garlic chili sauce and the tofu will give enough flavour. Now I'm going to have a little taste of this. I've got a little tasting spoon here. Oh yeah, that's quite enough actually, because you don't want it too hot. So we've got our tofu. Now our tofu is just looking beautiful. I mean the colouring of the tofu is great. So the blender's mayonnaise, we've made our beautiful little sauces. Now we're just going to prepare ourselves to do a bit of plating. Got that saffron. Thanks, Michelle, for that saffron. Good on you. I couldn't afford to buy that sort of stuff. I don't know how you can, but anyway, beautiful saffron. It's got beautiful smell. Rice and have a bit of saffron rice later on. Yeah, don't throw that away. That's your food cost, young chef, sitting there. You don't want to pop that in the bin. You know, after people have spent all day pulling the stamens out of a crocus flower. Just going to clean down. So I've got my mayonnaises. See, that's holding up quite well. Yeah, in the kitchen. And I've got this one. So we've got our 2 blenders mayonnaises. I'm just going to wipe down, do a quick clean. And I'll just wash my knives and wash my chopping board. So, right, I've got my little pikelets, little fritters, whatever you want to call them. Pop that down there. So as we said, we take the mayonnaise, the blender's mayonnaise that's been mixed with wasabi and pickled ginger. We're just going to smooth that onto this one. Okay. We then smooth it onto this one as well. We lift up our little pancake. We pop one in the middle, yeah, and we've got the other top. This is the top for the other one. I've got my tofu. I'm going to get my strap harnesses out. And the tofu, oh, beauty. The tofu is absolutely gorgeous, yeah. We're going to turn that over, cameraman code. So I've got a lovely crunch, and the tofu's puffing up a bit. And look how simple this is. Turn that off. Pop that on top, just like that. Move this out of the way. We've got our little bits of eggplant. Just going to pop them on. Now you can add some extra flavour to it. You can do this, you can do that. It's up to you, yeah? I'm just going to pop them on like that. I want a little bit of size there. This one, simple. On top. Done. And now, the blender's mayonnaise. So I've got the lovely saffron. Here's the saffron. I'm going to mix this through the leaves. Yeah, so we get that flavour of saffron with the lovely leaves on top, and we're going to pop the leaves. We're going to pop the leaves on top of the tofu and eggplant burger, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we mix that up a little bit more. The blender's being a nice thick product, so the blender's mayonnaise, because it's so nice and thick. Now I've washed the lettuce, and of course there is a little bit of water on there, but the leaves are being coated lovely. Yeah. Now I've washed my hands, so I'm going to use my hands to assemble, because I want to pop this on top. I don't want it to fall apart too much. I just want to put this on top. I've got lovely little mixed leaves there. I've got some little rocket. I've got little purslane. I've got a little bit of baby spinach, a little bit of red spinach, and I just pop that on top of our burger. And there we have it. The blender's mayonnaise. Good for vegans, good for vegetarian. Chili tofu, mung bean fritters, flavoured with wasabi mayonnaise, made from good old blender's mayonnaise. And also a little bit of saffron mayonnaise on top of the dish. Enjoy, be creative, think about how you can use new products, young chefs. See what you can do to satisfy all types of customers, and working with a great partner like Blenders and utilising a fantastic product like their Blenders mayonnaise, you can't go wrong. Enjoy, bon appetit.